Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram Tolegian, joined on my far left by Fred J. Robledo, and in the middle, Steve Ramirez. We have a couple of big games going down, one sort of out of the area, Freddie, and one right in the heart of the valley.
Yes.
We're talking about Bishop Amat going to Crespi in the Mission League opener. And then also we're talking about Walnut playing at Baldwin Park in a non-league game that has some meaning for a few people, and we'll get into that once we get into that game. But we'll start with Bishop Amat, 2-2, going to Crespi, which is 3-0, Freddie, the Mission League opener for both teams.
Yeah, the real difference is Crespi hasn't played a super tough schedule. When you look at some of the teams in the Mission League, they probably played the easiest schedule, but they are 3-0. Bishop Amat, though, which team is going to show up? I mean, you've seen the team that blew out Aledo in Texas, a team that blew out Rancho Cucamonga. They had that close loss to Santa Margarita, which turns out to be a pretty good team. And then last week's loss to Rancho Cucamonga, Chino Hills, I'm sorry. And their quarterback didn't start, and they just, a lot of things didn't go right over there. So, who knows what's going to happen this week? Who knows how good Crespi really is? It's a typical Mission League game where I've always thought, the last couple of years in league, that anything happens when these teams line up.
And this is a tough place. This has been a tough place for Amat to play in recent years.
Yeah.
They were able to beat them at Amat, but what it seems when they go over there, something kind of happens.
Yeah.
Well, like Fred said, who knows what Amat team you're going to get. We've seen them be very good, and we've seen them be head-scratchingly bad. But the point is, though, is that there's no more room for error. I mean, this is a league game. You don't want to start 0-1 in league, Fred. And when you have Crespi, and I'm not saying Crespi is, any less of a threat than Chaminade or, Sarah. But the fact is that you have Sarah coming up behind this, and then obviously Alamany later, and Notre Dame, and Loyola. You can't slip up.
No.
I mean, there's no more room for error. So if you're going to be a Jekyll and Hyde team, you better be Jekyll, every week.
And one of the things I got from Tommy Kiss, who was at the game last week, is their tackling. Their tackling was really bad. Chino Hills was able to run on them.
It was bad against Margarita, too.
Yeah, they were able to run on them pretty good, which you can't give up stuff like that.
Right.
And they've still been giving up, their MO for a while has been on third and longs. They've given up big plays a lot, and that's starting to creep up again. It creeped up again last week against Chino Hills. I mean, they're going to have to start finding some consistency in those areas if they have any thoughts of making the playoffs or finishing top 3 in this 17 league, Steve. You can't have good game, bad games when it comes to run stopping or defending the pass, defending third and long. They've got to find some consistency. They can't be great one week and mediocre.
Yeah, defense is supposed to be something that should always be there, because it's just a matter of working hard. Sometimes when you're throwing passes, sometimes you're just off, but your defense should always be kind of the constant, I think.
And the last thing, I don't know what the mood is around Amat. You talked to Coach Steve Haggerty today, Aram. I know you're working on a story, a notebook, just to kind of where they are through 4 games.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to measure where the players' heads are right now, how they feel about, typically you get emails from parents who are kind of scratching their head and wondering what's going on.
Especially Amat.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You just kind of get emails, you kind of get messages on Twitter. There's some complaining, there's some people saying, just don't worry about it. It's just kind of hard to measure where they're at. I think this week, again, it's another one of those games where you're going to find out.
When you're paying for something, Fred, like your child's high school education, you expect results. You want results, especially when you're paying for it. So, Coach Haggerty says, the team's going to be ready to go, and that won't be a problem. And, you got to think that they will fire a good effort. They'll be on their best behavior, but you never know until they're on the field. Let's get into predictions for this game. Like Freddie said, Crespi 3-0. They've allowed only 12 points this year. Some coaches do it one way, some coaches do it another, Fred. Some guys schedule up. Some guys like to get confidence. Just looking at who Crespi's played, it's no secret how Troy Thomas wants to do it. Sylmar, Oak Hills, Lawndale. Congratulations, they're 3-0. I don't think they've played anybody to Amat's caliber yet. There might be a little culture shock. I'm going with Amat. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I'm going. You know, Amat in the last few years they've really struggled on the road in their league games, and I think it'll be a struggle again for them this year. I'm kind of selling after what we saw last week on the road. I'm going with Crespi in the opener, and it's a game that they lose to Crespi. Boy, with Alamany coming in next week.
Sarah, right?
Sarah, I'm sorry, Sarah coming in next week.
Yeah.
God, that's going to be tough. But yeah, James Escasey was surprised I made that pick.
Yeah.
But I'm going Crespi.
Stevie, you want to split the difference here?
I'm going with Amat. I just think from a talent perspective, they look just a little bit better than Crespi. I think it's going to be a close game, like Fred said, and we've seen in the past. They kind of struggle up there, even when they've had a really advantage. When they've had a great season, they go to Crespi and they don't come out with the win. But I just think their talent edge might just be too much this time.
Now, fans, if you'd have thought that somebody at this table would have taken Crespi and the other two would have taken Alma, I know it wouldn't have been Freddie that was taking Crespi. So that'll let you know how head-scratching this season is. Moving on.
It's probably the game in league they really got to have the most, right? If you're thinking about making the playoffs in this league, but I'm just not sold.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. If it doesn't happen this week.
I was there for the Rancho game, but I can't explain. Unless Chino Hills is better than we all think they are.
I know they're very good, but all right, fair enough.
Let's get this next game.
Okay, Walnut, going to Baldwin Park, 1-3 Walnut. Baldwin Park 2-2. Baldwin Park on a 3-game losing streak since starting the season with a win over El Monte. So you might ask yourself, why are we doing this game? Why are we talking about this game? Well, this is actually a pretty good non-league battle when you consider the storylines of the game. Baldwin Park's new head coach, Daniel Algadas, Stevie will remember this, former stud quarterback at Walnut back in his playing days, led them to the CIF championship game when they lost to South Hills.
They won league that year.
He was an all-area type guy. They won league with San Antonio League.
Yeah, San Antonio League.
He is now the head coach of Baldwin Park. But after, this is according to a story that I wrote, back in August, after he was hired, after he graduated from high school and was, in college and looking to kind of latch on and get some coaching experience, according to him, Walnut told him that, hey, if you want to coach here, you can be like an unpaid volunteer. And he took that as sort of, his alma mater. He took that as sort of a slight that, that's kind of the best thing that you can offer me. I guess they didn't think, it's almost a direct quote, like he said something to the effect of, I guess they didn't think I was worth, any money or, or whatnot. So he said he would not forget about that, leading up to this game. Yeah. So, Baldwin Park's coaching staff, there are a lot of young guys on there. There's probably a lot, and I got no problem with this. There's probably a lot of ego involved with that coaching staff. Here comes Walnut, and this is a game that Algadas wants. So it's going to be pretty interesting, and I'm sure Walnut doesn't want, Coach Algadas to beat them.
Yeah, and I'm going to be at that game on Friday. More than just
you
a
gonna
game.
walk there?
From here? Yeah, I could. I actually could.
That's the side of the first prep game.
That's why I signed myself Baldwin Park, Aram. No deadline. I just try back. I'm gonna have to take my computer.
Right.
But I want to know where Baldwin Park's going to be in the Montview League this year.
Right.
They're not in the Valley Vista. They're not going to go against San Dimas. They're not going to go against Northview, who's 4-0 right now. I want to see how good they are. I mean, I think between them and Azusa, those are probably the two best teams in the Montview right now. Azusa with that big win last week over Arcadia. I'm just kind of curious. Walnut's been really struggling. I mean, I can't get. They played that game against Diamond Bar a few weeks ago. They just got absolutely blown out, and they're struggling. And then, like you said, Baldwin Park's won 3 straight, so I think lost 3 straight. So it's an important game for both schools to kind of.
I don't think that's right that they've lost 3 straight. Actually, I think I need to be corrected there. They actually beat Ganesha last week. So I have that wrong. I think it's
2-2.
I think it's Walnut that's lost 3 straight.
Okay.
Is that right, Stevie? Walnut's lost 3 straight. You were just there. For the sake of being right here.
No, they haven't lost 3 straight days.
Don't ask me what I'm looking at. Anyways, we did get the records right. Walnut's 1-3. Baldwin Park's 2-2. Stevie, your thoughts?
Well, I like what you said about that this is Coach Algadas. It's a chance to give it to him. It kind of reminds me of when UCLA, when Ken Norton wanted to be a coach, they just wanted to have him be a graduate assistant, not pay him, and then he went over to USC and just saw what happened there. So I'm sure he's highly motivated.
Good comparison, Stevie. Right off the top. That wasn't bad.
And you know, both teams haven't kind of lived up to their own expectations this year. So
Right.
Aaron, you thought Walnut Park was going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought talent-wise, yeah, they were, and you know, I thought they were an overwhelming favorite to win the Montview League. I don't feel that I feel they're the favorite, but not overwhelming anymore. You know, I think maybe Duarte, maybe Azusa could give them a battle, but I'd still call them the favorite. And Walnut, I mean, you talk about leagues, they're in the Hacienda League. I mean, good luck with that. I mean, you know, they could be everybody's homecoming game if things don't get turned around.
It's been a struggle for them over the last decade.
Since Algatis left.
Since Algatis was there. I think they've had like 1 or 2 decent years. Yeah,
they had a couple of good years after Algatis left. 04, 05 in there, you know, 03 maybe. Yeah, we shouldn't say that. But yeah, over the last 8, 9 years, real struggle. Let's pick this game, guys. I get the feeling, despite you know, our causes of concern with Baldwin Park, we're all going to be picking them. I know I am.
I got Walnut Park too. I like them at home, and I just think that, you know, they're just a little better than Walnut right now.
Right. Well, okay, so we all picked Baldwin Park over Walnut this week. Freddie will be out there just in case there's any kind of drama.
Yeah.
Be watching for it, Fred.
Good food there too. Good food at Baldwin
Oh
Park.
yeah, right. That carne asada burrito or something.
They have some great food. Terrible press box, you know. They have I can't hear the action. That's the only thing I can't stand.
That's why you walk the sidelines.
That's what I'm gonna do this week, Stevie. I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna walk those sidelines, Twitter from my phone, Arab style.
Yeah, and you think Los Altos was happy to have Freddie out there last week? Imagine what BP's going to do.
Yeah, that's my soccer school actually. They get bigger crowds for soccer games than football.
I don't think you'll see that.
We're gonna find
out. I think this week you'll.
Because they pack it. Soccer playoff games. That stadium's 3/4 full.
So that's not okay. Well, that's a tough thing to follow for football. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Get out to one of these games. Amat up at Crespi, Walnut playing Baldwin Park right in the heart of the valley. Enjoy it.